School, of course, is now officially back in session, and we hope you and your little ones had a wonderful first week back in class. Now, you may be a first-time parent taking your little kids to and from school, or you may be a wily veteran, but Officer Paul Tapao is here, and we are going to talk about how parents can be safe around school. As you know, students, Paul, they come and go, and you've talked to us many times about work in groups, talk to your neighbors, be responsible for groups of kids, help out your friends and everything like that. But what are some more tips that you can give us now that kids are being shuttled back and forth between school or maybe even going to bus stops?
Well, first and foremost, you got to be expecting that things have changed now that school's open. 2 weeks prior to the public school open, we had the private schools. So now we have everybody, even to include the college. So you're going to be expecting a lot of congestions on the roadways, heavy traffic. That's going to be expected. What you should do as a parent is, of course, plan ahead, plan accordingly throughout the week. And we're in the rainy season. We're actually in the monsoon season. If you see this whole week, we've been having heavy rain. So you're going to have to plan accordingly. How early do you want to leave home to get there in time, safely in time? Because like we mentioned before about driving conditions when it's raining, you want to prepare for that. And you're going to see a lot of heavy foot traffic, of course, around the bus stop. So you have to be aware of that, especially if you're motoring and you're transiting your child from home to the school. You're one of those parents who drop off and pick up. Be aware if you go into the schools within the village that there are bus stops situated along the roadways, and where there's bus stops, you're going to see where the bus shelters lay, there's going to be kids playing around.
Now, if people are parents, and of course there are many thousands of kids who are going to school, people want to take their kids to the bus stop and stand there and wait with them and everything like that. How do we prevent crowds from bunching up and everything? And how can we be more responsible as we wait for the bus?
Well, you can take the lead role or be the responsible parent by talking to the kids there. You can start up a group and exchange days where you can say, I can take care of this week. If you have that relationship with other parents of the kids, you can talk to them about safety. Kids like that while they're waiting, they're being preoccupied. We're talking to them. People advise them, sit in the bus shelter while you wait. Don't be playing around the bus shelter. Watch the traffic that drives to and in front of the bus shelter. Be mindful of that. But you as a parent, you have that commanding authority figure over the kids, and make it fun. Talk to the kids about different subjects. Talk to them. Start talking to them about stranger danger. Just be creative and give that child lessons in life that can actually help them as they get older.
Now, nobody knows traffic on Guam. Nobody I know, at least, knows more than you about traffic and traffic patterns on Guam. So with so many people needing to get to work or needing to get to school and needing to bring their kids how much earlier do you think people should go out and be on the road so that we can arrive and take care of everything we need to take care of while still getting to our destinations at a reasonable time? 20 minutes, 30 minutes?
I like to say 15 to 20 minutes before you, from when you were leaving home during the summertime when school wasn't in session. Give yourself that extra 15 to 20 minutes to leave. So, you're actually on the road. You're not going to meet that heavy traffic because, like I said, all the schools are back in session. So you got kids, you got parents from the private schools to the public schools to include college students that are going to be commuting. So 15 to 20 minutes is advisable. And then again, the weather that we've been experiencing, you might want to add an additional 15 minutes. So maybe look around 30 minutes to leave your home and, safely arrive at your destination in a prudent speed and a prudent manner.
All right. Set the plan and get the plan done, as you always say.
Absolutely. Accomplish your plan and be safe.
All right. So what's this week's crime of the week?
This week is a wanted person that's wanted for a warrant of arrest by the courts.
Okay. Let's find out.
A warrant of arrest has been issued by the Superior Courts of Guam for the following individual: Danny Philip Nigrarois, 37-year-old male Palauan, who stands 5'7" tall and weighs between 140 to 160 pounds. He might be bald or having a short black hair. It is unknown if Danny is armed. However, he should be considered dangerous, and we want to advise the community not to approach or attempt to apprehend him. Danny, or Danny Palau, or Danny Boy, was last seen on March 1st of this year at his home in Swamp Road, Dededo. Anyone with any information as to the whereabouts of Danny can call the Guam Police Department Dispatch at 475-8615-6 or 7. Or if they would like to remain anonymous, they can call our Guam Crime Stoppers hotline at 477-HELP or send a text to 486 help. All calls remain completely confidential, and a cash reward of up to $1,000 could be paid out if the information provided leads to the arrest of Danny Nirarois. If you have any information about this crime or any other crime, please call Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP. That's 477-4357. You can also send a text to 486-HELP. That's 486-4357. You can also submit information of a crime through our webpage at guam.crimestoppersweb.com or call the Guam Police Department at 475-8615-6 or 7. Guam Crime Stoppers wants to remind the public that we do not use caller ID and you do not have to leave your name. You can receive a cash reward of up to $1,000 if the information provided leads to the arrest and conviction for the person or persons responsible for this crime or any other crime.
All right, real quick, Paul. Kids, of course, they get really excited about the first day of school. Kids get like really antsy and everything. Any last minute tips that we can get maybe for the kids out there who are watching us right now to just say, if you're taking the bus, if you're carpooling, if you're riding with mom and dad or older sister, older brother and everything like that, what can you do to be safe and make sure that you and your fellow students are safe?
I want to stress the bus stops, especially if you're a walker to and from bus stops. Take the sidewalk, use the sidewalk, stay off the streets, refrain from playing around the bus shelters and everything. Wait patiently, that's why they have seats, wait patiently for your bus and follow the instructions of the bus driver. And we want to advise motorists who are driving, within the bus shelter, when the sign engage from the bus in itself comes to a full stop, you have to stop. As police officers or first responders, when we're running code, we have to stop for that. We can't just barrel through with our lights and siren. Once we see that the stop sign is engaged by the bus operator and the bus itself, everybody has to come to a stop.
And we want to emphasize that because traffic on both sides, behind the bus, in front of the bus, coming from the opposite direction, once that stop sign comes out, everything halts, right?
Everything stops.
Now contrast that with like tour buses and like the trolleys and
yeah, it's different because we're those bus with the stops. They're actually dealing with kids. They're transiting kids to and from. So there's going to be a lot of foot traffic getting off and on the bus. So be mindful of your bus. The bus shelters along your routes where you travel to and from work or to school, be mindful that it's going to be populated with kids. Be mindful of the times that the bus arrives at that location, and just be mindful of your surroundings because kids are excited, especially with their rain gears. They want to show off their new boots or their new raincoats. They want to be walking around, splashing in the puddle. Kids will be kids, but what we can do as adults, mature adults, is just be mature adults.
They want to take care of the book while it still looks new.
Yep, absolutely.
Second quarter, it looks like it's 5 years old already.
Yep, they're out there to get their education, and we want to make sure that they receive a safe education.
Okay, and the final point before we go to commercial break, Paul. Since school is back in session right now, what is the speed limit in school zones?
It's 15 miles per hour.
15 at all times.
And you'll see the signs posted when school's in session. So you give a time frame from 7 to 3 o'clock.
All right.
That's the best time frame to remember. Monday to Friday, operational time 7 to 3.
All right, as always, we appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, and we appreciate you, and we will see you on the flip side of this break.